Welcome to the Entombed Valley.
That was such a nice welcoming that we were given just now.
Yeah. Warmed my heart.
I felt like I really got a picture of Entombed Valley.
Top left, guys, we have in red our Zerg player down a game. Starting for CJ2, it is
CJ2's effort.
And his opponent starting cross position down at the bottom right of the map. In blue, his teammate.
CJ2 Hero.
CJ versus CJ here. CJ Entis, great StarCraft 1 team, doing really well in StarCraft 2 so far as well. And big major company in Korea. In fact, the entertainment and media section runs on GameNet, which is, you know, obviously done so much for esports and broadcasts Pro League. So huge company. Just give you guys some info about that. It looks like Hero is indicating he wants to go for a Nexus first again, as he has not sent a probe down to make the Forge at his natural just yet.
So far for effort, we have the standard opening, gets his pool at 14, and now just waiting for the drone to be able to build. Well, the hatch at the natural, but the thing is with the probe out there, he could actually force him to build the hatchery at the third base, which is something that you never really want to do, especially on this map.
Yeah, this map, the third is so exposed, it's so far away, it's very uncomfortable. I think Effort may do the same thing he did last game and try to send a drone to the third, and then if he gets away with it, make a hatch at the natural. But so far, no third drone sent. Now he's sending another one down.
And he builds the Forge before he starts with his Nexus. Here comes the pylon for the pylon block, so Effort is now forced to get his hatch up at the third base. And this is definitely a little bit annoying for him, because of Entombed Valley is known to be a map where Protoss tries to go for the 3 bases. But you can
if he denies this too.
Nah, it's a little bit too late.
Yeah, just barely not.
The thing just is, if you are, you can still work with the 2-base timing attack, and if your opponent's base, the natural, is actually at the third base, he might be in trouble to hold it off, because it's also so hard to just get queens over to assist here.
Oh, picking off this probe would be huge though. He almost gets it. You're right though, the third base to a fast type of pressure can be so exposed on this map. And that's one reason why Protoss player feels great on this map, because his base is easy to take at the third. He can wall that off, he has the rocks once they're destroyed, which is a lot easier for a Protoss player to destroy. And he's got easy access between 2 of his bases, he gets a third base almost for free, but the Zerg cannot say the same about his third.
And here's now the next expansioner for Effort. Very early in the game, goes for a very, very fast third base at the natural position. Of course, his job is going to be in the next few minutes to take down the rocks between the natural and the third, so that he has a little bit of an easier access in order to defend here. Whereas Hero, on the other hand, he can now decide what he wants to do. If he wants to start things off with a 2-base timing attack, or if he wants to go for the likelier build going into robotics and then just starting to get sentries, couple of gateway units, bunch it up with immortals and take his third base.
Yeah, and I mean it's a map where Mothership play has been oftentimes the deciding factor in the late game. The fourth base is always the point of contention. Sometimes the Protoss will just kill everything in his defense using a Vortex, then counterattack and kill the Zerg. Sometimes the battle takes place at the fourth base of the Zerg if the Protoss gets an earlier advantage. The map can play out in all sorts of different ways, but none of them are a position where the Zerg can really be too open on the map. He's got to really be careful. He's going to hide behind Spine Crawl. He's going to make sure his creep is across the map.
You basically only have one other choice as a Zerg. If you really want to be aggressive, for example, you can make sure that you build this 200 supply Roach army, a research drop, and try to drop onto your opponent's natural and take him down. This is a style that we've seen in the past, but a little bit more common is just this really late game oriented build where you try to take a 4th, take a 5th, you prepare for your opponent's mothership, you try to get Brood Lords, you get the whole Zerg death ball, including the Infestors with Neural Parasite, just so important, and of course the better economy compared to the Protoss player. But it's hard to pull it off, especially because Protoss can take a 4th as well, it's easily defended, and then it all comes down to the positioning and the unit control.
Yeah, and on this map, we've talked about this a little bit before, sometimes Ultras are used because the map is so open. There's a lot of space for the Broodlords. You know, they have to kind of move over open ground. But at the same time, it's really hard to attack the 4th base location against Protoss with those Ultras, so they're good at controlling the center of the map, but the Broodlords sieging up at that 4th are usually the better choice. But we could see some variation here from Effort if the game goes long. And Hero, as expected, is going to take a very fast third base here at 720.
Yeah, going for a very third base indeed. Now microing his Stalk a little bit in the middle of the map against those Zerglings. The Zealot, of course, desperately needed. Nice. Well, pull off here, and of course what Effort really wants to see is the third base. I'm a little bit surprised that he doesn't switch over. Here we go. Sends one of the Lings over there and will spot that there's already the wall in position. Knows exactly what he's up against.
Even the Probe gonna get brave and fight here. Not the right choice.
Killed the Probe. Nice.
Yeah. That's, you know, small little things like that when your Ling is dying. Make the best of your Ling before it dies.
That was actually a trade well worth it. 50 minerals against 25.
Yeah. I like that choice.
Here comes the transition into a Twilight Council once again. He's not and the robotics follows suit just a few seconds later.
Yeah, he's going to get both here. He wants to spot Effort's tech, make sure he's not doing anything weird. For example, going fast mutas or quick infestors are going for a big attack, or even drop play can be scouted by the observers. But at the same time, he needs that Twilight Council, more importantly, for +2 and that blink research.
And Effort needs to take a fourth base here. He already knows that there's a third in position for his opponent, so I would really be surprised if we wouldn't see another hatch in just a few seconds. He gets a macro hatch in his main base, which is of course also very important. If you have this huge economy to build units, you need the production capabilities, and here is now the fourth base just being built by Effort. Exactly the response that we expected. And even a fifth base is not out of the question here.
Yeah. Oftentimes you will see players take a fifth base on this map at a faraway location from the fourth, so that if one base is taken out, he can transfer his drones over there. But War Prism play on this map is quite strong, so you have to be careful about that.
Bottom left, also a good position for another base. The fifth is usually taken at the top right still, but at the bottom left you can always sneak one in. We've seen this actually at WCS Korea quite a few times.
Yeah.
And now the additional gas. Both players is gearing up for the macro game here. We have Blink on its way, the +2 attack, additional gateways for Hero, trying to be safe here, trying to defend against what's coming, and still macroing it up with the additional probes that he's building. Whereas Effort, of course, now is also getting his upgrades. We will probably see an Infestation Pit very soon, so that he can start his transition into Hive.
We saw a silhouette of his Infestation Pit, and he decided to change it into an Evolution Chamber before it was made. And now he starts his Infestation Pit. Means he gets the second upgrades start going a little bit faster. He knows that he doesn't need the infestors at this moment in time because of how the Frost is playing. This Overseer not able to see a whole lot, and now Hero is actually adding a lot of gateways. This may indicate we see this 3-base Blink Stalker with +2 attack.
Yeah, I actually think so. I mean, if you just see of how many gates he's currently adding as well, he doesn't produce any probes, even though he could. Only one now, but not really. I think he has also a lot of energy on those next side. Now here comes the War Prism. This could actually be a really, really aggressive build, and without Fungal?
It's going to be basically impossible without Fungal. He's going to get some good hits here, though, as Blink is not quite ready yet.
Well done with the sentries. Killed actually 2 of them, so that was a good job. But now Blink is done, and the 4 gateways that he just added are also completed. So at this point, this is going to get scary, and Effort is not researching pathogen glands. He's not building infested. He's going for Burrow here, which is a little bit unfortunate for him because an observer will be on the map.
Yeah, he's going to catch these sentries, but you know, force fields are helpful with this type of attack, but this is not the situation where it's absolutely 100% necessary to have those sentries. The Blink Stalker control here is going to be everything. And Effort does have 37 Lings on the map. He's got 8 more on the way, and with the amount of Lings he's got out, he needs to buy time for those infestors because that is what's going to allow him to close the distance and take out this attack.
And here we go, moving in right away. He has a lot of units. If he fights on creep, that will be so good for him. Effort needs to back up a little bit. He needs to buy time here. He gets the Spinecrawl in position. Also, Pathogen Glance is on its way. Here come the Infestors. So he is still in a good position. Now, Hero tries to make this happen. He doesn't have a big transition out of this, but if there come Infestors and Fungals, then the Stalker army has a huge problem. In supply, Effort is still a little bit ahead, but Hero is closing the gap and is now moving in with the Stalkers right at the 4th.
Yeah, he's down in army supply, but the composition he has is so awesome. If you can get good force fields with the sentries he's remade, I mean, it really eliminates your opponent's army supply lead because he can't fight with all of his army. He just comes in here, takes out this hatchery, and he may be content to just go home and make a robotic support bay now that he's done this damage. He doesn't even really have to try to end the game here. His +3 is getting close, though.
Effort is now in a bit of trouble. He's down to 3 bases. Decided to sack his 4th, and Hero is on the move, trying to come up here. Here they are, the Infestors and the Fungals are on. Immediately the Sentries cast the Force Fields to save them, and the Infestors are actually dying, being picked off by the Stalkers. The Stalker count at this point is still at 26, and Hero is looking strong here, moving now in at the 3rd and taking on the first 2 Spinecrawlers. Controlling the choke point.
Yeah, perfectly done, and the Spinecrawlers are just not enough. I thought he was going to go back, but he decided, no, I want to end the game now. His +3 is about to finish. 52 Lings on the way, but several of them dying as they spawn here. Another good Fungal gets off as an Infestor pops out. Well, there's just too many units here, I think, Keldor.
He's dropping in supply, and still the choke point is controlled by the Sentry to the Force Fields. That's a few units through in order to take them down. Another Infestor dies, and the army supply at this point in time, it's still in favor of Hero with 65 to 40, and Effort is dropping in supply fast.
Yeah, with +3 finishing up, the Lings are just falling so quickly, even losing Overlords here as they spawn. The Infestors do not have enough energy to actually participate in the fight. Effort losing a lot of production at the base. You can see he's got 1,000 resources and 1,200 gas. He can't spend it.